Good morning, Brazilian homeopaths. Good evening, the colleagues in India, and my greetings to all the viewers across the world. I must thank the organizers at Giri for inviting me over for the sharing of my experiences at this conference, especially my friends Dr. Carla Holendino and Dr. Leone. I'm excited and happy, in fact, today to share some of the experiences that we have gained in Corona research since middle of the March this year. I'm also excited because we have achieved certain very interesting preliminary findings in the Corona nosode development and its efficacy studies, which I'm going to share in brief. Uh, some of the research work related research papers are under review process, so I may not be able to share everything, every detail, but I'll give adequate highlights suggesting how this corona nosode has a potential in the current epidemic, current pandemic, as well as it could be of use in future for a range of conditions, as well as how this research is probably going to open new avenues in the management of infectious diseases in the coming time. So I'm going to touch base on some of the topics in this talk. Before that, I must acknowledge that our research in corona nosode has been conducted, and it is undergoing still at Mumbai's Hafkin Institute as well as at Gujarat University in Ahmedabad. I'm thankful to the scientists involved in this research work at Hafkin Institute especially, and Gujarat University, as well as we have board of advisors, scientific advisory board members, which are immunologists, virologists, microbiologists, cancer biologists, pharmacologists, etc. So it's a teamwork of various scientists involved in this process, and which has made us possible to develop this corona nosode in spite of certain hurdles and challenging time in the city of Mumbai, because we have had a very long lockdown period with lot of limitations and restricted mobility. And thanks to all my colleagues and friends who contributed in the development of corona nosode. This COVID-19 pandemic has made practically everybody on this earth know little bit about vaccines. So everyone is talking about vaccines, but hardly anybody is talking about nosodes. And it is high time that we take up this opportunity to educate the people in this world about nosodes. Well, nosodes and vaccines are, I call them cousins or twins. They are very related, and most people, they do not know about that. Vaccines are prepared from the biological materials such as bacteria, virus, fungi, etc. Similarly, homeopathic nosodes are also prepared using bacteria, virus, fungi, tissues, and so on. So both these are sourced from the identical situations. Both are made using different methods. The vaccines are made by weakening the organisms so that they do not retain any toxic or infective properties, but still they have the ability to induce certain immune response which can be protective. Similarly, homeopathic nosodes also are made in a different method called potentization. It's a serial dilution method whereby potentially we are transforming the source material of, say, bacteria, virus, or tissues into some kind of nanoparticles which are devoid of any toxic or infective properties. They are safe, yet they retain certain property or immunogenicity to induce some immune response in the human body. We believed this earlier, but we did not have any adequate scientific evidence all these years. But this COVID time has given us great opportunity to explore and to create the scientific evidence whether these nosodes really produce any immunogenicity or they produce any immune response or immunoprophylaxis, which we are going to talk in today's talk very, very briefly. So I believe that we should not really hesitate in calling homeopathic nosodes a kind of vaccines, or rather we may also say that homeopathic nosodes are homeopathically prepared vaccines. It will not be incorrect to say so. Though personally I had a lot of hesitation in combining these two words earlier, but if you technically understand that nosodes are also meant to do the similar job and even much more, but they are prepared in a different way. This will hold true if we are able to really demonstrate repeatedly that they have the potential of producing efficacy which is comparable with that of the vaccines. So I will tell you what kind of nosodes we prepared. We developed three variants of COVID-19 nosodes at Haskins Institute and Gujarat University. One variant was from clinical sample containing live virus. The other components, other nosodes were prepared from certain inactivated strains as well as from the glycoproteins or the proteins inside the virus. We sourced them from reliable sources. We also prepared the nosodes using BSL-2 plus facility at Haskins Institute. These are the secured and safe techniques in an environment which are required to process the samples containing virus, and these are approved as per the biosafety guidelines, and other measures are taken care of. So we had three variants of the nosodes which we intended to evaluate for their efficacies as well as of course safety in a different way. There is a paper which is going to be published incidentally in a few days time, hopefully in Brazil, which has been accepted by the International Journal of High Dilution, and that paper will give all the enough idea about the sources, the method of preparation of the three nosodes, and all the safety parameters. When it comes to the use of any medicine prepared from biological materials like virus, bacteria, parasites, etc., it is of highest importance to examine their safety. We have to see, in spite of preparing the nosode from by the method of potentization, which undergoes serial dilution beyond Avogadro's number using the alcohol, 90% alcohol as a medium. So there is no risk whatsoever of having any live virus in this preparation. However, the modern system doesn't really acknowledge or know much about this method. Safety guidelines. So our nosodes were tested for any viral material or DNA material in the potencies they were prepared, which were to be used in humans. So by using the standard methods like RT-PCR technique, we could demonstrate that the potencies beyond 6C potency, they did not contain any RNA material of the source virus, that is COVID-19 virus. Since the homeopathically prepared nosodes have not been understood so very well, there are no clear-cut guidelines about how the safety study of the nosodes must be done. So we decided to follow the conventional guidelines for the safety. So as per the conventional guidelines, the nosodes or such medicines must undergo animal toxicity study. So we followed certain international guidelines called OECD guidelines, where 2 species of animals were tested using the homeopathically prepared COVID-19 nosodes, and we could see that these animals were free from any serious adverse effects. This report is still, the study is still going on, and we have completed it more than half. In fact, in a few days time we'll get this study. However, the studies have shown that there was no toxicity observed in the animals, so it is safe for human use. It may be noted that in the series of nozodes that we have developed in last 15 years, this was for the first time that we conducted or animal toxicity study, because we wanted to follow the conventional guidelines in order to get the approval for its faster use for the masses. Besides the safety studies, we have conducted a series of in vitro studies. The studies are still going on, and we are not in position to share those results yet. But the studies are essentially going to examine what kind of efficacy this nozode could produce in vitro laboratory model. The moment the results are out, we'll be able to share more about this research as well. Then comes the very interesting aspect. We conducted with one of the nozodes a phase 1 study in 10 healthy volunteers. The idea was to examine the human safety of the nozode. So 10 volunteers were selected, and approval was given as per the standard ethical guidelines. It was registered with the ICMR's CTRI, and following all the regulatory processes, the study was conducted essentially to see whether this nozode is safe or not for human consumption. We had very interesting finding. Besides the safety which the nozode demonstrated, because none of them developed any serious adverse side effect. Some of the volunteers did have some mild symptoms, such as feverish feeling or some kind of myalgia or mild running nose or throat irritation. Besides that, nobody developed any severe symptoms, so it was clinically also safe. The most interesting aspect of this study, of phase 1 study in the human, was that all the 10 volunteers, they had certain elevation of immune modulators. Some of the relevant cytokines were elevated in the volunteers, suggestive of T cell activation. As per the immunologist, the T cell activation is essential aspect of generating any immune response. So we demonstrated probably for the first time that homeopathic nozodes are capable of inducing immune response, or the rather signs of immune response in humans, even in the 30C potency. Now this, of course, there's another opportunity altogether, how this 30C potency in such an ultra dilute dose could still retain the power or the potency or the ability to induce some kind of immune response. That is a study by itself that requires more research. So all the volunteers developed some indications, so they've shown some indications of T cell activation. More will be there in the research paper that is getting reviewed currently. The increase or elevation of certain cytokines, which led to another very interesting finding in the volunteers. That was the increase of certain fighter cells, certain T lymphocytes, and this elevation led to increase in the CD4 count in almost 70% of the volunteers. Now this is suggestive that the homeopathic nozode prepared from the virus of corona-19, the nozode has the capacity to induce immune response and leading to enhanced immune protection. Because once the CD4 count increases, then there is which is a sign of activated innate response, and that is suggestive that the medicine could potentially help in preventing infections of various types, including that of COVID-19. So this human study has demonstrated immunomodulatory effects of homeopathically prepared nozode, which is a very encouraging finding, and which can compel us or encourage us to go to the next level. After that, we immediately started with one observation study. So in the city of Mumbai, there are quarantine facilities run by the local municipal corporation. So we collaborated with the municipal corporation here, and they had a very large facility housing around 2,200 patients, or rather individuals who were high risk individuals. These were the people who had some exposure. If every person had an exposure to one infected patient, so there were big chances that some of these patients would get converted into the active COVID infection. So we had a great opportunity to examine the efficacy of this nosode in this high risk population. So we conducted a placebo controlled multi arm comparative study, observational study in these 2,233 individuals. And in this comparative study, we compared commonly indicated homeopathic medicines, which included arsenic alb, Bryonia alba, and of course the nosode prepared from clinical sample. And we also compared that with camphora and another combination of arsenic, Bryonia, gelsemium, and influenzinum. So it was a 6-arm study to examine in under which arm how many people are getting infected, and if you could compare the results. So very interestingly, in this human study, which is a form of clinical trial, we could see that there was definitely significant improvement in the as compared to the placebo arm. The nosode prepared from the coronavirus, had shown around 62% efficacy against placebo. Another medicine which also has shown effect is Bryonia alba. And after that, arsenic alba also has shown efficacy, but the nosode has shown much more efficacy than arsenic alba. In this study, interestingly, camphora was also used, and camphora has not shown any better efficacy against placebo. So this was a reasonably good study, I would say, in spite of certain limitations due to the lockdown, but which has demonstrated the efficacy of the corona nosode as well as arsenic and Bryonia against placebo. So we had a very encouraging outcome from this, and that made us take up the further studies with this nosode. So the research is still going on, of course. So as you can see, we have examined the safety measures of this COVID nosode, as well as we could see immunoprophylactic, immunomodulatory effects of the nosode using the recognized biomarkers, as well as we could examine its efficacy in the human phase, in the human trial. Besides that, in the clinical practice, we had an opportunity to use this nosode on some of the patients with their prior consent. And we could, of course, it is hard to document that, or rather it is not published yet, but then we could see definitely that clinically this nosode has shown very interesting findings, I'll put it that way, and which is worthy of further exploration. As we know, in the today's time and the time when the nosode was examined clinically in last 6 to 8 months time, we were literally struggling to find any help for these COVID cases, right? There is no vaccine, there is no antiviral treatment in the conventional medicine. Various experimental drugs were tried, like SCQ and antivirals, anti-HIV, etc. have been tried without having any proven efficacy. So we as medical professionals, we all have been struggling to find some hope, something which can possibly help these cases. And during this time, we have seen that those people who were given the corona nosode have shown efficacies in different ways. We have come across certain extremely high risk individuals whose family members were infected, maybe 2 or 3 family members were infected in the same family. They are living in the same house but some people who had taken the nosode, they did not get infected. So we have documented such experiments, such results. Of course, we also had some failures where couple of patients whom I know, couple of individuals who had taken the nosode and had an exposure, and they got infected. However, we have seen that those who had the nosode and got infected most of them, very few of course, few had the infection, I mean, but they had a very milder course of COVID. In fact, there are some cases which were documented where elderly patients having high risk comorbidities like diabetes, chemotherapy, and other associated chronic diseases who were put on the nosode on day one of its detection. And we have documented that some of these patients, they ran the course of the entire disease without developing any symptoms. So that again is very encouraging. We could see that this nosode has some definite potentials, and that is worthy of further exploration. At this point, I am not claiming 100% efficacy with this nosode, however, very consciously, but I am quite aware, and I must share with the profession that in the time when we do not have anything clearly yet, then nosode is a possibility, and without any hesitation, nosode must be explored. And I am of the strong opinion that the governments in various countries, the medical fraternity, the scientists, they must explore homeopathically prepared nosodes as a probable solution in the management of viral infections, bacterial infections, and other diseases, where the development of the vaccine itself is a big challenge by itself. You see, as you know, vaccines take many years, and it has its own challenges in terms of toxicity, adverse effects, cost, the challenges of cold chain. But and against that, if homeopathic preparations like nosodes are exploited or explored adequately, then I am very happy to share, based on my experience with the nosodes, that there is a good possibility that we can offer homeopathic nosode at a room temperature without requiring a cold chain logistic effort. I must say here that I've been working on developing nosodes for last almost 12 to 15 years, and we have been able to develop several nosodes, including HIV nosode, hepatitis C nosode, Mycobacterium tuberculosis nosode, E. coli nosode, Salmonella nosode, Candida, and cancer nosode, etc. And we have done various studies which include in vitro studies, which include some animal study as well, whereby we have demonstrated over and again, including the human trial, that the specific virus or bacteria based nosodes have specific anti-disease activities, and that accumulated experience is suggestive that it is high time that once and for all we must explore the homeopathic nosodes in a big way. And this COVID-19 pandemic situation is probably the best opportunity for the homeopathic profession as well as for the medical fraternity in general to open up avenues in this direction. The further research is of course going on. We are preparing for phase 3 human trial. We are already talking to and have applied for the permissions from DCGI and the Ministry of Ayush, and waiting for their permission. We have requested the Government of India, the Prime Minister's office, the Health Minister, the Ministry of Ayush, etc., and their respective bodies, requesting them to have a fast track support to the development and the research in corona nosodes. Of course, we do have some support. However, in my personal experience and view, this support is still very slow. I must also share that the Government of India, the Department of Ministry of Ayush, had invited research projects from across the country for homeopathy and Ayurveda, etc. And I was told that there were around 800 plus research proposals for homeopathy segment, and the Ayush task force with the ministry very carefully evaluated all these proposals, and they finally shortlisted one project out of 800. And fortunately, that was the project that was on one of the variants of corona nosode that we have been working on. So we are getting a support from the government of India. However, still they are in the review process, and I wish they complete this review process as fast as possible, because we don't have so much of time as we all can understand. We are heading towards phase 3 study and subsequently phase 4 study. We are also working on getting the regulatory approvals. It must be noted that the body DCGI, that is Drug Controller General of India, DCGI is a conventional medical body looking into the development and approval of conventional medicines, and probably this is the first time that we have approached them for homeopathic medicine. So it is a new experience for them to process and review and approve a homeopathic medicine, that too a nosode. But then, of course, this pandemic has taught many things which is for the first time to all of us. So I look at this as an opportunity for everyone, for the government, for the researchers, for scientists, and for every person. We are learning something or the other during this pandemic challenging time. So I think with this, I would like to conclude this talk. In brief, we have been able to document substantial preliminary findings suggestive of the scope of this COVID nosode as a preventive as well as a therapeutic measure. And of course, higher studies, bigger studies are required, for which we have been working on. I'll be happy to invite collaborators from any part of the world, which could help us participate in the study, which can support us in different ways, because we need some collaboration, we need help. Entire work is being done by a small practitioners like me, and we have certain challenges, of course, and I would like that the homeopathic profession and the government bodies, they must understand what challenges researchers like us they face, and this is time that we need help and support from people, from the profession, from the various organizations, from the government, because so that we can make this nosode develop it faster, and which could be brought to the people of the masses. And the common question is, when will this nosode be made available to the masses? Well, this all depends on the regulatory affairs. Regulatory approval process is slow. So as soon as the government is able to give us an approval, we are conducting further studies, post which, once we get an approval to get this manufactured and which could be made commercially available to the world. So we are eagerly waiting and working very hard with the entire team of scientists and other people to make this happen. I must acknowledge and thank all those people involved in my research work, the scientists at Haskell Institute, Gujarat University, our scientific advisory board, our other colleagues, experts in different areas. It's a teamwork, and we are persistently and consistently working on this project. And I believe that by end of this COVID-19 pandemic, homeopathy profession and homeopathy science will end up turning out much stronger, much more efficient, and much more scientific, which I personally and humbly wish that will help the world, the next generation, for a very long time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your participation. Thank you. My sincere thanks to all those people involved in organizing this event. Wish you all the best.